Okay, people. How you doing, guys? Welcome to the call today. This is Carlos and Breezy. Want to say hi and thank you for coming on today. Got a couple of videos that are gonna tell you a little bit about. Actually, one video was made about 50 minutes ago, so it's fresh out the press. It's really talking about regulation and how, obviously, to me, that's a pure indicator. If the governments are worried about how we view the American dollar, then that is already telling me that they are on guard and they are scratching and clawing at, the bankers and the middlemen about to be replaced, right? Baby, I'm on a call. So, um, so basically, I have a really good video about regulation and a very good video about um the market sentiment. So again, guys, when we do these calls, it's not always going to be about updates. It's not always going to be about what's new. Although we do have some gamified things we want to talk about today. We want to help people um purchase a horse. We want to help people understand what it is to be in the GameFi opportunity that was given to us. So we want to talk a little bit about GameFi. We want to talk a little bit about the project, and we want to talk about the market. We want to remind you guys that this is when people either do very dumb things by selling their assets, or, like Warren Buffett said before, be fearful when people are being greedy, and be greedy when people are being fearful. Um, Breezy, can you put up that post that I had sent you? There was a paragraph. Let me see if you could share your screen and see if you could share that post that I sent. So here's a post. It says, and obviously these are the words from Golden Gecko and Wall Street. Um, and I know sometimes our moral our moral compass is is a little different in business as it should be. You know, a lot of us are very sweet, kind-hearted, spiritual people, but there are certain things in business that you have to do, right? Like, you have to make a choice whether you're going to sell your assets, trade your assets, buy your assets. Those things shouldn't have any emotional connection. Certain numbers tell you certain things, and you go with that. Certain information tells you certain things, and you go with that. Certain research tells you certain things, and you go with that. So, what I want to bring up right now is this article, right? Greed is good. Greed, for the lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed in all its forms. Greed for life, greed for money, for love, for knowledge, has marked the upsurge of mankind. So that's just a quote from the movie Wall Street, and not necessarily that I agree or not agree with it, but I'm I'm telling you that the sentiment of the market for investors, smart investors right now, are of greed. Fearful, uneducated investors, tourists, crypto tourists, as I like to call them, they're selling. They don't know what to do. Oh my God, it's Bitcoin's going down. Oh my God, Bitcoin's going to go down to zero. Oh my God. But we've seen Bitcoin go down and always come back up. We've seen the stock market go down and always come back up. So I'm going to finish reading this. With their latest crypto fund, Anderson Horowitz is the following is following the words of the famous Gordon Gecko. They are being greedy when others are fearful. Not only it's a brief moment of warmth during all this darkness in the markets. And that right there is why I'm bringing this up. This is a moment of warmth in the darkness of the markets. Because when you see a guy like Anderson Horowitz making yet another fund, and Anderson Horowitz is a venture capitalist that is looking at all these people running around with their like chickens without a head, just oh my God, like they don't know where to run to, right? They're just like, what do I do with my crypto? It's going to zero. Every day it's going down. And they're just buying it up. They're buying it up. They're like, I'm here for the long term. All these short-term tourists, let them be scared and sell their bags at a high price so that I could buy them at a low price. So everybody right now that's selling is losing, right? Um, I had a talk with David the other day, and I said, David, what's happening with um we have all these projects to jump in, right? And all these projects are coming in to say, hey, let me get some free fund. And maybe they buy some free fund and maybe they buy their token, right? Maybe they want to buy their own token. David said, those people are thinking about today, not about tomorrow. They're thinking about this minute. They're thinking about instant gratification. They're not thinking about the fact that this is going to be, Fawn is going to be the key to the new blockchain, and it's going to mine for 7 years. We're 2 months into this. We're 2 months into this, and people are worried about price action. And it comforts me to talk to like-minded people. It comforts me to make sure that I am on the same page as David, as Breezy, as everyone else. It comforts me to know that you guys are on this call and you guys need to know that we're not panicking. We're like, this is for the long haul. We're 2 months into a 7-year project. So do you have the stomach to weather the storm, right? We're in a bear market, which is exactly, and it's a bad winter bear market. They say this is like a crypto winter coming, right? So this can last months to 18 months. This could be a year and a half of a bear market. Could you see yourself losing money like this? Not losing your coins, but losing value in your coins and still keep a steady hand. Those are the people that are going to last in this, industry. When every time the price goes down and we sell, we would just be foolish. Then this is not for us. And you need to ask yourself that too. If this is not for you, that's fine too. I mean, don't do anybody any favors. You're in this to do yourself a favor. You're not in this because you owe anything to me, anything to Breezy, anything to any of us. You owe it to yourself to be part of something that you either believe in or you don't. And you need a gut check. This is the gut check. This is shit'll get off the pot time. And it's okay. If this is not for you, maybe later on when the adoption of crypto and maybe 25% of the world is into it, maybe that's good time for you. Right now, only 5% of the world is into this, right? And 5% of the world, this is, we're strengthening each other's mindsets as a community. We're doing this together. We're on the same roller coaster going down. There's not a special roller coaster that me and Breezy are on that has a protective glass on it. We're in the same roller coaster that you're on. It's how we handle these emotions. It's how we handle the roller coaster, right? So I'm enjoying the ride. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm waking up happy every day that the Fawn token has gone from $25 to $4. That's not what I'm happy about. What I'm happy about is the GameFi that they're implementing, right? That shows me that they're trying to get more people onto FSTSwap. The GameFi shows me that they're continuously, tirelessly working. The voting mechanism shows me that they're continuously, tirelessly working on things that are going to bring more people to the platform. So these are great indicators. Again, like we always say, don't look at price as the sole indicator of the success of the project, right? Look at what they're doing, right? Cardano is one that, Charles Hoskinson has been working on Cardano forever. They have over 1 million users in their platform. No one's really like saying, man, I want to sell all of my Cardano because this is never going to work. People are like, wow, he's trying to do X, Y, Z in Africa. He's trying to do this. Obviously, these things take time, right? And it takes adoption. It takes, these developers have a vision. And it's easy for them to stay in the lab and work and just churn out, project after project, node project, voting mechanisms, GameFi. It's easy for
Carlos,
them
your volume was a little down.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
No, it's still like you're far away.
Yeah, like I'm far away still?
Yes.
It's terrible. All right, so let's play a video and I'll come back in. Let's play the any other two videos. Play first.
Last week, crypto personalities and politicians sat down to discuss the future of crypto regulation in the United States in what seemed to be a rather hastily arranged meeting. The lineup included Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson, whose comments have since gone viral. As you'll soon see, however, what Charles had to say was just the tip of this hugely significant crypto iceberg. Today, I'm going to give you a bit of background about last week's crypto hearing, give you a short summary of what was said, and tell you exactly what it all means for the crypto market. Before I talk about this crypto hearing, there's a disclaimer that needs transmitting. I am not a financial advisor, so financial advice is not something I'll be spitting. Education and entertainment are the only things I'm bringing. So please contact a financial advisor if your portfolio is slipping. Also note that I hold ADA as part of my portfolio, but there will be no shilling. Now, if this is your first time at the Coin Bureau, my name is Guy and this channel is about crypto. My mission is to bring you high-quality crypto content that will keep you in the know. Coins, tokens, news, and reviews that are useful to both crypto noobs and crypto pros. If you want our videos to be a part of your flow, subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell down below. Right, that's all you need to know about this crypto bro. Let's see what was said at this crypto hearing and what it could mean for altcoins like Cardano. As I mentioned in the introduction, the crypto hearing I'll be summarizing today seems to have been put together at the last minute by the catchily titled United States House Agriculture Subcommittee on Commodity Exchanges, Energy and Credit. I'll shorten this from here on in for the sake of everyone's sanity. Now, I say last minute because the House Agriculture Committee only announced the subcommittee hearing on the 15th of June, about a week before the actual hearing took place. Not only that, but the list of witnesses wasn't released until the actual day of the hearing, according to CoinDesk reporter Nicolesh Day. Now, if you follow Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson on Twitter, however, you would have known in advance that he was one of the witnesses, and if you follow Charles on YouTube, you'll know that he's been meeting frequently with US politicians and regulators in Washington, D.C. over the last few months. In a video from May, Charles actually provided some very important information about the state of crypto regulation in the United States, and it helped add a lot of context to the crypto hearing I'll be summarizing today. I'll leave a link to Charles's video in the description, but the TLDR is that there are two crypto bills that are currently being considered by US politicians. The first is the Digital Commodity Exchange Act that was introduced to the House Agriculture Committee at the end of April by Representative Glenn Thompson. The second is the Responsible Financial Innovation Act, introduced to 4 different committees at the beginning of June by Senators Cynthia Lummis and Kirsten Gillibrand, which I actually summarized in a recent video. That will be in the description. All you need to know about these 2 bills for the purposes of this video is that they both do 2 very important things. They clarify the definitions of crypto-related terms, and they effectively give the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or CFTC, jurisdiction over most major cryptocurrencies. Now, this is significant because the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has been itching to clamp down on cryptocurrency, especially altcoins. Now, because both bills provide a clear definition of what fully decentralized means, many major altcoins would therefore be safe from SEC Chairman Gary Gensler, assuming they're actually decentralized, of course. As Charles mentioned in his aforementioned video, the Digital Commodity and Exchange Act seems to have a better chance of becoming law, simply because it only has to go through a single committee before being tabled for a vote, whereas the Responsible Financial Innovation Act has to go through 4. In case you haven't noticed, the committee that the Digital Commodity and Exchange Act was introduced to is the same committee that held the crypto hearing I'll be summarizing today, and it was even referred to the very same subcommittee that actually held the crypto hearing. So the crypto hearing itself is titled, quote, "The Future of Digital Asset Regulation," and it took place on Thursday, the 23rd of June. It featured CFTC Director Vincent McGonigal, great name, Georgetown University law professor Christopher Brummer, Chainalysis co-founder Jonathan Levin, and of course Cardano founder and Bison enthusiast Charles Hoskinson. So, with that context in mind, let's see exactly what was said, shall we? The hearing began with an opening statement by Subcommittee Chairman Sean Patrick Maloney, and I'll quickly point out that Sean was actually appointed as chair of the subcommittee on the 17th of June, less than a week before the hearing. Nothing to see here, I'm sure. Now, Sean's opening statement was pro-crypto, to say the least. Although he did mention he has concerns about the volatility in the crypto market, he also mentioned that 20% of Americans currently hold crypto, that crypto innovation should occur in the United States, and that the SEC is not all-powerful. I think you might be starting to see where this is going. Anyways, next up was Congresswoman Michelle Fischbach, and her opening statement contained even more eye-popping pro-crypto statistics, namely that more than half of American adults have held or still hold crypto, which is the same percentage of American adults who own stocks. Just let that sink in. Michelle also highlighted the fact that there are over 20,000 cryptocurrencies and not all of them fit neatly into existing regulatory frameworks. As far as Michelle is concerned, this is creating risks for market participants and uncertainty for crypto projects, which is no bueno. Michelle then invoked the Digital Commodity Exchange Act I mentioned earlier and acknowledged that it would give the CFTC the power it needed to create reasonable crypto regulations. This set the stage for Congressman Glenn Thompson, who you'll recall is actually the author of the Digital Commodity Exchange Act. Now, Glenn started his opening statement by applauding Subcommittee Chairman Sean Patrick Maloney for being pro-crypto. I swear I'm not making this up. Glenn then applauded the subcommittee itself for being one of the first to hold a hearing about cryptocurrency way back in 2018, and even went as far as applauding cryptocurrency as an asset class by pointing out that the interest in crypto remains high, despite the crypto bear market. Best of all, Glenn concluded his opening statement with an epic sentence, and that's, quote, "We don't know how digital assets will be used, but that should not excite us nor scare us." Now, the witnesses then continued with their own opening statements, starting with CFTC Director Vincent McGonigal. Vincent briefly went over what the CFTC does and talked about how it already has authority over crypto derivatives, meaning futures products on the CME and those Bitcoin futures ETFs. Georgetown University law professor Christopher Brummer spent his opening statement talking about the complexity of cryptocurrency in the context of regulation, and said that, quote, calling everything a security won't help, which is a not-so-subtle reference to the SEC's approach to crypto regulation. Christopher then continued by saying that regulators must, quote, have a builder's mentality, and explained that the CFTC has a better vantage point of the crypto industry than the SEC. As such, Christopher contends that the CFTC should have jurisdiction over regular crypto trading, not just derivatives. Next up was Chainalysis co-founder Jonathan Levin, and nothing he said really stuck out to me. It didn't help that his opening statement was one of the only times he spoke. This is because Jonathan was tuning in remotely from South Korea, and the politicians soon forgot he was even present. Now, the last opening statement came from the one and only Charles Hoskinson, and I should specify that Charles was there on behalf of Input Output Global, or IOG, one of the two software companies that built Cardano, the other being Emergo. Charles's opening statement can be found on IOG's blog, and it contained everything you might expect: a bit of background about IOG, the real-world use cases of cryptocurrency, a call to Congress to work with crypto companies, and a request for principles-based regulation, which is a reference to the CFTC. Charles even gave a shout-out to Chainalysis and underscored its ability to track almost every single crypto transaction. More about that in the description. I digress. Now, Charles concluded with an apt analogy, and that's that cryptocurrencies are like stem cells. They can be, and often are, many different things over the course of their existence. It is therefore more appropriate to apply regulations to centralized entities rather than apply labels to decentralized coins and tokens. Naturally, Charles was making subtle and direct references to Cardano throughout his opening statement, and if you're unfamiliar with the project, you can learn all about it using the link below. Anyhow, with opening statements out of the way, the next order of business was rapid-fire questions, with each politician present getting 5 minutes to grill their guests. Now, as per the pecking order of the subcommittee, the first politician to prod the witnesses was Chairman Sean, who asked Christopher whether the CFTC should be able to regulate regular crypto trading. Christopher smiled and said yes, so Sean turned to Vincent and said something to the effect of, quote, Vincent, Christopher says the CFTC can regulate regular crypto trading. Is this true? To which Vincent obviously responded, yes. Next up was Congresswoman Michelle, who asked Vincent why the CFTC is referred to as a principles-based regulator. Vincent responded by explaining that the CFTC abides by 23 clear-cut principles, which makes it easy for relevant entities to comply with its regulations. Note that this is in stark contrast to the SEC, which tends to make decisions based on ever-changing criteria, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency, and you'll know this if you've watched any of our videos about SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's own testimonies before US politicians. Michelle then turned her attention to Charles and asked him about how cryptos should be categorized, to which Charles chuckled because he only had 37 seconds to respond. This is when Sean said something I've never heard at these hearings before, and that's that Charles could take his time. After cracking a joke, Charles went on to reiterate what he had mentioned in his opening statement, and that's that there should be less focus on crypto categorization and a bigger focus on the specific elements regulators want to guard against, and how this can be done with centralized entities. I also couldn't help but notice that Charles seemed to have a few fans sitting behind him, though I suspect these were members of the delegation Charles had referred to in that May video. Regardless, it was quite funny to see two young ladies laughing at his jokes and nodding in approval of everything he said. I just wish I could have some of that from time to time. Anyhow, Digital Commodity Exchange Act author Glenn then took the mic and asked Christopher whether it's clear when a crypto is a security, like a stock in a company, or a commodity, like gold or silver. Christopher said it's not clear at all, so much so that all his students consistently fail that question on their exams. Glenn took this as an opportunity to propose that the SEC have oversight of initial coin offerings and other crypto crowdfunding mechanisms whereas the CFTC would have oversight over most other cryptocurrencies, again assuming that they fall into the category of a commodity. Christopher responded by cautioning that there needs to be a robust definition of decentralization first, so that the commodity label can be applied correctly to all the thousands of coins and tokens that make up the crypto market. Congressman Bobby Rush was the next politician to pose some questions, but I could barely understand any of them. The guy was just so old. It seems that Christopher understood something, though, because he replied with comments about crypto being complex and requiring better disclosures, etc. Congressman Troy Balderson, another great name, took his 5 minutes to ask Vincent why it is that the CFTC is well suited to regulate regular crypto trading, and Vincent explained that it's partially because crypto trading involves similar levels of speculation as derivatives trading, which is an interesting argument. Troy asked the other witnesses if they had anything to add, and Charles filled the silence with an equally interesting comment, which implied that the entities behind cryptocurrencies that are classified as commodities due to decentralization will not be subject to the same disclosure requirements as those classified as securities. This got me thinking about whether there are any crypto companies that are trying to convince regulators and politicians that the cryptocurrencies they're working on are decentralized, so that they never have to reveal just how much of that coin or token they hold, or just how involved they really are. After all, Charles did mention in that May video that he saw other crypto projects speaking with regulators and politicians on Capitol Hill. I'll let you speculate in your own time about which ones could fall into this bucket, and you can use our video about decentralization to help. That will be in the description. Anywho, the next politician to pull some punches was Congresswoman Angie Craig, and she continued the pro-crypto atmosphere by asking Vincent whether the CFTC would require additional resources to regulate regular crypto trading. Vincent said yes, because government can only grow, never shrink. Now, in all seriousness, it's really quite crazy how much the politicians present were catering to the CFTC, and this was made clear when Congresswoman Kat Cammack asked Vincent whether the CFTC's discussions with the SEC had been productive, given that they're fighting over the same territory, so to speak. Vincent downplayed the conflict between the two regulators by insisting that discussions have been productive, and all the while, Kat was saying something to the effect of, "Are you absolutely sure?" Now, if I was Vincent, I would have thrown the SEC under the bus at that moment, but, that's just me. Now, it was around this time that Sean realized that none of the politicians had asked Jonathan any questions and reminded them that he had gotten up in the middle of the night to answer them. Congresswoman Ann Custer swooped in to put Jonathan in the spotlight by asking about the risks of cryptocurrency exchanges. Jonathan explained that the only cryptocurrency exchanges with any real risks are those operating overseas, and even then, almost all of them have fallen into line with the regulations that lie downstream from the Financial Action Task Force's so-called recommendations. More about those in the description. Jonathan continued by explaining that the only real concern to have about offshore crypto exchanges right now is issues with the pricing of certain coins and tokens. Now, to my mind, this was a very conservative way of admitting that some of these exchanges are engaging in price manipulation, not naming any names. Anne then asked Vincent whether there's anything about crypto that concerns him, and he immediately answered leverage trading and fraud, and I happen to agree with him on both points. Were it not for all the leverage in the crypto markets, the dips wouldn't be so catastrophic, and there's never a shortage of scams. Congressman Doug LaMalfa saw this as the perfect opportunity to kill the pro-crypto mood by asking how it would even be possible to regulate the crypto industry, given that there are over 20,000 coins and tokens and just a few hundred employees at the CFTC. Charles chimed in with a cutting comment, and that's that the IRS can't possibly audit everyone either. That's why it relies on a self-certification system instead, and so too should crypto regulations. Doug was taken aback by the suggestion that the crypto industry could work with the government to regulate itself based on a set of principles, and Charles cut down Doug's criticism by pointing out that it's the banks that provide KYC and AML services for the government's own regulations. Realizing his defeat, Doug grumbled about how he doesn't like that people are investing in crypto and said that creating reasonable crypto regulations will only result in more investment, which he again doesn't like. It's a good thing that he's apparently the only anti-crypto politician on this subcommittee. Congressman Randy Feenstra, another great name, resurrected the pro-crypto mood by asking Vincent whether the CFTC would need more congressional authority to regulate crypto, to which Vincent responded yes. Randy also asked Vincent whether cryptos can become more decentralized over time and what the definition of decentralization should be. Let's just say that these questions were way above Vincent's pay grade. Congressman Michael Cloud turned the pro-crypto mood up to 11 by calling big banks the authoritarian arm of the government. Charles interjected to add that the banks don't do KYC or AML at all well, and slammed big tech for trying to define regulations. Michael pulled on the thread by asking Charles about something he'd said in passing earlier, and that's that it would be possible to do crypto regulations algorithmically. Michael asked the obvious question of whether algorithmic regulations could be abused if they came from the government. At the same time, Michael criticized ESG and how the elites are trying to create individual ESG scores, and asked Charles whether crypto regulations run the risk of creating the kind of social credit scores you see in China. Michael even raised his concerns about central bank digital currencies. More about ESG and CBDCs in the description. Michael ended his lengthy question by asking how the United States can compete with countries like China without turning into a totalitarian state, a question that's not asked enough, if you ask me. Charles seemed to realize that he had bitten off a bit more than expected and stressed that he too is concerned about things like CBDCs and social credit scores. Charles emphasized that there should be no central algorithm, that everything should be voluntary, and there should be multiple standards. And with that, the hearing came to a close, and Sean made his final remarks, which can be summed up as follows. The crypto market has grown exponentially since 2009. This growth will continue for the foreseeable future, along with the volatility of crypto prices. The United States needs crypto regulations that will ensure this evolution continues while minimizing volatility. This is the first of many crypto hearings. So this brings me to the big question, and that's what all of this means for the crypto market. Well, in short, it's extremely bullish. Maybe it's just me, but this political subcommittee is insanely pro-crypto, and I don't think that's a coincidence. If you've watched our videos about crypto lobby groups, you'll know the crypto industry has been spending millions of dollars to try and shape crypto regulation. One of the biggest spenders in this regard has been FTX founder and CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, who has donated millions of dollars to politicians and has subsequently found himself speaking at similar crypto hearings, the most relevant one being a hearing with the heads of the CFTC in May. As some of you will know, the FTX exchange focuses on derivatives trading, hence why Sam has been so focused on the CFTC. I reckon other players in the crypto industry realized it made more sense to go down the path FTX has trod and focus their lobbying efforts on the same politicians and regulators. Now, I must admit this is mostly speculation, but it would explain why this subcommittee is so abnormally pro-crypto. I mean, seriously, both sides of the aisle were basically asking what the CFTC needed to regulate regular crypto trading, as if the Digital Commodity Exchange Act had already become law. If my theory is correct, then it begs the question of what it could mean if a few big crypto companies and crypto projects are shaping regulations for the rest of the crypto industry. While this would certainly be welcome at first, over time it could become a tool to prevent competition. This is exactly why the SEC is so anti-crypto. It has close ties to Wall Street and is frequently lobbied by some of the biggest banks and asset managers. And you'll know this if you watched our video about the SEC's views on cryptocurrency. As far as I can tell, the crypto industry is in the process of taking over the CFTC so that it can be used to take away the SEC's crypto powers, which could again become a double-edged sword in the long run. As the saying goes, though, don't hate the player, hate the game. It's the game that needs to go. With a bit of luck, all these politicians and regulators will be replaced by decentralized autonomous organizations and other novel governance mechanisms that have yet to be developed. That is my hope for the crypto industry. But the reality is we're going to need some regular regulations to get there. And that's all for today's video about the recent hearing about crypto regulations in the United States. If you found it informative, let me know by smashing that like button. If you want to make sure you don't miss the next video.
Okay, party people. So that was a lot to take in. Obviously, he mentioned, can you guys hear me clear now?
Yes. Yes, we can,
Okay.
Carlos.
So he mentioned a double-edged sword, right? So, so those of you, those of you that are wrapping your head around this, we want crypto to take off, right? We want crypto to be accepted, but they're not gonna let a bunch of people just lose their money on crypto without some sort of regulation. But then a true crypto person would say, well, it isn't crypto if it's being regulated, right? If it's not decentralized, then why have it at all? Crypto is supposed to be decentralized. So the unique thing about that is that it brings us to a full circle where we come right back to where we are. We're in the center of creating a DAO. And I know that this is, foreign to all of us, not many of us, all of us. I don't know if someone in this community has been in a DAO, a successful DAO, for more than 365 days, and we can't wait for you to step up and tell us how did it go for you. We can't wait for you to contribute and tell us how can we do that better? How can we match that, right? So since this is all new space, we either have to trust this or we don't. We either have to like this or we don't. And if we don't trust it and we don't like it, we get out. And if you want to get on this journey, then you're going to have to get brave, take risks, and say, you know what? I want to be part of something great. I want to be part of something new. And I'm willing to try this, right? So that's where the nodes come in. That's where the voting mechanisms come in. So if you guys have any doubts of where we're moving to, go on Google and research any successful DAOs for the last 365 days and see who's done it for a year. Check that out yourselves. You don't have to wait for me to do a Thursday call or wait for a Wednesday call or wait for a Monday call. What are you filling your time in with all the other days, right? So go ahead and check out if there's any decentralized autonomous organizations that have worked and how are they working. I do know that these developers that we have now are trying their best to have a DAO that's going to work for everyone, right? So it's to our benefit to learn more. It's to our benefit to educate ourselves more. And that's where we're here. We're not here to deliver the greatest news in a bear market. We're here to deliver education, understanding, and perspective. So does anybody have any questions? Let me check the chat before we move on. Okay, let's we've got like 10 minutes left. So let's talk about GameFi. I don't want this to be a 2-hour call today. So I'm on vacation right now and I don't really, I can't do a 2-hour call today, guys. So we're gonna have to move this to another. I have some more stuff to share, but we're gonna share it on the next call. But in the meantime, somebody's laughing over here. In the meantime, does anybody have anything they want to share, anything they want to ask? Like, now is not the time to be shy. You know, this is your investment. You know, I'm not sure if you guys have seen something on Twitter that you want to talk about. You know, I I've got a few Telegrams, a few Instagrams, a few WhatsApps. I've got my texts going crazy, and I got phone calls, right? And then I got my own stuff that I want to do. I can't see everything at the same time. So, you know, I ask the community, if you see something, say something, right? If there's something that you see that you have a question about, there's no value in staying quiet. Like, just share it. Hey guys, I have a question about XYZ. If I have the answer, I'm gonna let you know. If I don't have the answer, I'm gonna try to find the answer. But hey, we have a hand up. Awesome. Let's see what's going on here.
It's me.
Oh, you try to trick me. Go ahead.
It's just me. No, if Peter's available just to show his horse and how to get to it, that would be great if you're in the place to do so, Peter. And then just to touch on the point that we're here, we are following the tutelage and the knowledge that we get from Paul. And from him is where we get our information, as well as the points of where he wants us to look, which is Twitter, the different Twitter accounts to include his, to get our information, to get updated. We have these calls to update you on. So if you have any questions, concerns, this is where you wanna bring this up to. So the two things is the GameFi, which is gonna bring a lot of people to our FSTSwap, to our exchange. And when the blockchain is here in October, that is when it's gonna blow up even more. But we have to be able to articulate what we're doing, and that is why we're having these calls. But Peter, take it away.
All right, so it's a new GameFi project that came about, and some of us on the call have horses, and we're excited about it. I'm not a gamer, but I'm going to try my best to make sure I feed my horse and play the game. And where we have access is through the URL that's been created, fonfund.io, and I believe it's Jockey Club as well. So we go to fonfund.io, and this is where we get to see the game. Let's see where it is here. This is where I go to the game section, and I just click on, I don't know what the writing meant, but it goes to this Jockey Club page, and it shows the 3 different horses that are available. And these are randomly selected when you purchase the horse. So it's 200 FST to buy a horse. And I got this one, which is the Hanoverian bloodline. I have a male 2-star horse. And we're just getting it ready to play the game. And I'll show you my horse here. I don't know exactly all the details on how to play, but it's going to be fun. We're just going to get together and collaborate amongst the people that have a horse. This is the horse that I got. And we expect this to be fun. And this is the first GameFi project on FSTSwap, which is going to lead to many other projects. So this is going to be revolutionary for our DEX. And once the game catches on and we see a lot of success in this game, we're going to see a lot of different other projects come in with their GameFi, and it's going to, build FSTSwap. And that's the intention of this, getting the community together to play some of these games and build the repertoire of FSTSwap as being a medium for GameFi. We're excited about this. We're looking forward to it. And I think about 5 or 6 of us on this call have a horse. So it's going to be fun to collaborate together and just go through the motions of playing this game. Hope that helped.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate you. So guys, you know, we've been following Paul. I've been following Paul since like 3, 4 different projects. And I've been with Peter, David, and Paul, Breezy. And all I can say is that everyone has their own motive, right? Our motive is to expand FSTSwap. It's not a secret motive. It's not something that we're trying to deny. It is exactly, you know how they say, you are who I thought you were. This is exactly who we are. We're people that are together trying to bring more people to FSTSwap to expand on the assets that we have. Like there is an entire community of Ethereum holders and of Cardano holders and of Bitcoin holders trying to expand their community with their education and the assets they have. So if you hear people trying to expand on the assets they have, then more power to them. You know, people were asking why um certain coins are not with us anymore. I think they took away OSK DAO, they took away um Terra Luna for a while, you know, and it's, if we're not going in the same direction as another group, then we're just going in another direction. There's nothing personal, there's nothing political about it. The assets, you're here right now on this call because you own Fawn. You're on this call because you own OSK. You're on this call because you own Fist. Everything's gonna have a turn, right? Right now, they're concentrating on voting and on GameFi. So whatever tokens those are, that's what we'll be using. If next they say we want to go to the metaverse and we want to just concentrate on OSK, then that's where we're going. I'm gonna gather my OSK. I'm gonna go to the metaverse and OSK. If they tell me that the next thing they want to do is borrowing and lending, but you can only borrow and lend with Fawn, then I'm going to take my Fawn and I'm going to follow David, Paul, and Peter and Breezy to lend and borrow our Fawn. Get in where you fit in. That's all I can tell you is get in where you fit in. If you hear FUD and rumors, that it's up to you. FUD and rumors are only FUD and rumors, so you do your own research. FUD and rumors are telling you, put the pedal to the metal and learn. So it's really shit'll get off the pot time, guys. So I'm telling you that from a caring place. I'm telling you that because I want you to be invested in yourselves because you already committed to buying these things. You've already committed to watching Peter's token pocket video on how to open up a wallet, to Tron Link video, to Big Keep video. You've committed to these things already. So it's up to you whether you want to follow through with them, right? So, oh, somebody has their hand up.
You're
Here
so
we-
funny. It's me again. No, Juma asked in the chat, how can I buy a horse now?
So Sanjeev has a video. Does anybody have that video? Let me see if I can share that video. Let's see.
I believe it's closed off right now. I don't know. Renee, can you confirm? Renee's on the call.
Say it again.
I don't think you can buy any more horses right now.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to. You're gonna have to probably buy it in the open market, which might be for cheaper than
Right.
200 fawn. I mean 200 fist, or it might be more, depending on what horse you have. I was intrigued by. I don't have Big Keep, so I think Sanjeev showed something on Big Keep, and I'm like, oh my god, the open market is right there. So I think from Big Keep you can see that they're opening a market, and I saw different prices. So now I need to get Big Keep. I was fighting the urge to get Big Keep because I don't want to have 1,000 wallets, but now I got to get a pen, and I gotta get all my codes down, and I'm gonna probably have to get a Big Keep wallet. So I got to keep up with the Joneses, right? So here I am. Never told anybody I didn't have a Big Keep because I didn't need it. Now I saw Sanjeev's interface, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to get a Big Keep." So I'll be doing that tonight. So that should be more interesting. But there'll be more news about how to get a horse after they close it, because they did have a countdown to closing that portal, saying which is actually awesome for the investors that are in already, because they were basically saying, guys, we're serious about getting a horse at this time period. We know that there's going to be more horses because people are going to breed horses, and there's going to be a whole bunch of new ponies born, right? So that's going to expand and almost dilute your investment. So if there's scarcity in horses, and there's only, let's say, I think it was something like 7,800. So if there was 7,900 horses and they were shooting for 15,000, they were allowing us to go up to 15,000. We as a community didn't capitalize on the time to get 15,000 horses, right? But they were like, that's fine too, because we know that with the breeding, we will get up to 15,000 horses if half of the if half of those horses, and I think it was a 1-to-1. So you'll have one racing horse to every breeding horse. So now you have, that's double, 7,900. Let's just say that's 16,000, right? So there's gonna be enough out there in the open market. I have a female horse, and I'm still trying to see if it's a racehorse or a breeding horse. I still haven't, I'm reading more and more on it. Once I figure that out, I'll be able to sell a couple of horses. So, you're probably going to be able to buy your horse on the open market. But we'll keep you posted on that. Anybody else?
I think that is it for right now. As far as naming the horse, again, I have a horse. I have not delved into this just because of everything else I'm doing. Not that that's an excuse. However, not sure if you can name it at this point. We'll have to figure that out and get back to you on that, okay? Gino, come on in. You should be able to unmute yourself. We don't have it. Wait, do we have it blocked? Yes, we do. Sorry, just kidding. Haha, not funny.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Sorry about that. Yes, sorry.
No problem. Yeah, thanks for the good call again, Carlos and Breezy. Just want to know, so did you say that there are no horses available? Because I just went in there for the first time, and I tried to look into this jockey club, but there's nowhere that I could actually get a horse at this time. Is that what you were saying? There's no horses available right now?
Yeah, there's no horses available. They close a portal. So they were really trying to light a fire under the community's ass and say, guys, this is the time to get a horse before we even tell the general public about it. So at this time, they'll go back to Twitter. They'll tell the general public that we have an open market to buy a horse. So that's going to be good for everyone who got in early, who can now sell their horse for more. Or if they just want to, who knows, if I bought multiple horses, I would then sell 1 or 2 horses for less, right? But if I only have 1 horse, like I don't see me selling my horse, right? I only have 1. I want to play the game. I want to see how the P to E, right? It's play to earn. I want to see how that mechanism works, and I want to experiment with it, But yeah, much like OpenSea, or much like the Solana network, when you go to Soul Sea, when you go and you see a kitten, you see, a bored kitten, and you want to buy a bored kitten or a bored penguin or whatever it is that they have, you just buy one that someone is selling. So someone, trust me, There'll be people. I mean, there are people already posting their horses to sell. So I just seen that really fast from Sanjeev. So I guess we'll have Sanjeev dive deeper into that, and I will be ready by Monday for our next call. I will be diving into that market to see how it is for me to post my horse. Because if I could get 5,000 for my horse, I will certainly put it on the open market. The open market is whatever we make it. So if I have a horse and somebody likes my horse or somebody likes the number of my horse, it gets so intricate that sometimes me and Peter might have the same horse. But if my number is 007 and somebody's a 007 fan, it's crazy. Somebody will pay more for my horse because of the number that is attached to that horse. So if somebody somebody's mother was born in 1939 and my horse's number is 001939 and somebody's affection to that number, they could just, I was doing it yesterday on another platform. I was looking for Peter, you're gonna like this. I was looking for poker hands. And I learned this from another YouTuber that they say if you see a full house, like a number that says 22888, 22888, right? That's like having a pair of deuces and trip eights. They said buy your numbers. If all things are even, buy the best poker hands. And I was intrigued by that. I'm like, wow, I'm a poker player. I'm gonna do that. I saw a couple of things last night that I bought for like $9. I was on this little app and I was looking at a couple of NFTs. And I was like, all things are even. These NFTs are all $10. But you know what? The numbers matter. I have an area code in New York is 10031, 10032 is like Harlem. I was like, I'm buying those because that's my area code. So if I'm thinking like that and the world is so huge, there's going to be somebody from Harlem that's going to be on this NFT network and going to say, oh, that's my zip code. I, I'll pay more for that. So keep that in mind whenever you guys are diving into NFTs. The number of your NFT is going to matter also. So you might have a random number. This is 12758. That means nothing. But if you get one that's, triple eights, all trip numbers, all four numbers of the same, all consecutive numbers. If you get a cryptocurrency, I mean, if you get an NFT that's 9987654, and all things are even, get those consecutive numbers going up or down. They matter. So just a little tip on NFTs and buying them and identifying them from each other.
Yeah, thanks
Hope
for that. Can I just add? I just went in the NFT Jockey Club, and it's great because there's a marketplace there. There's you can breed the horse, you can race the horse. So there's a lot of great things happening there. Talking about the marketplace, though, if I want to sell my horse, where would I go? Where is this marketplace found?
So I saw a
Hi,
glimpse.
Gino. I can actually, hey,
Thank you.
Carlos, let
Go
me
ahead, Renee.
take that one.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So I just posted in the chat the instructions for the marketplace. If everyone has BitKeep or Token Pocket, I believe, but I'm using BitKeep. Under the section marked NFTs in your assets page, what you need to do first is get the contract address for the horses. And that's the contract address I posted in the chat. Once you add that asset, make sure it's on the BSC chain, you'll be able to have access to the marketplace. Once you buy a horse, in our case, a few of us already own horses. What you'll do is go to your specific asset, click on the horse, and you'll see an option to sell it right there on the marketplace, on the NFT side in BitKeep. So you can also purchase horses as well as sell them. Anybody have any questions?
In the chat, it says how much per horse. And is that now closed off? So now they're going to have to buy it on the market. So it depends the price of which one they buy.
That is correct. If you guys don't mind, what I can do is I'll share my screen real quick.
Absolutely.
All right. So here I have one horse, and you can see at the top here, it says horse racing, and then there's an option to sell in the top left corner. And if you see the stacked squares at the top right corner, this is the marketplace. For some reason, BitKeep, or between BitKeep and Jockey Club, they haven't added images yet of the horses, but you can see that there are already horses on sale. You can see the prices. If I go into this one, this one costs 500 BNB, and the equivalent in US dollars is right there for you. So people can buy horses right now because people have already started selling them. So I hope that helps. Back to you, Carlos.
Yeah, that helped a lot. I just tried it in Token Pocket as you were speaking, and it's not quite the same. So I am going to unfortunately have to download BitKeep. I've been avoiding that for the last couple of months, but I'll just do another wallet and I'll dabble in it. But it's interesting to see that there was a horse for $10,000. There was another horse for $21,000.
Yes.
I couldn't care about I love this community. I couldn't care about playing that game. If I post my horse for $10,000, I'm selling it. I'll regret it later. but that made me laugh because I know how these NFTs work. Like if you go to the lower end of the spectrum or the higher end of the spectrum, like I saw an NFT, like a Disney NFT that I'm into the Star Wars NFTs that I found. So I found a Star Wars NFT. I bought a lightsaber, and it was I bought it for like $20. I don't plan on selling it for like the next 3 years. So the adoption of that platform comes about, right? So, but I saw somebody selling a lightsaber already for like $100,000, and I'm like, either that person is waiting for somebody to press the wrong button if they have 100,000 in their account, or they're just being extremely optimistic or cheeky, because that is ridiculous. But it's fun. It's fun to, like I said, if all things are even, and me and Peter both have a 2-star black horse, right? Who's a female horse, and my number happens to be 007, or it happens to be when, infamous date like 1942 or something that happened in the world history, and I get a historian with a lot of money that goes that he's into GameFi. He's like, I want to buy that number. It's going to be very interesting, So this is we're in a beautiful capitalist market. Let's see what happens. This is part of the experiment. I would love to wake up one day and be like, oh my God, somebody bought my horse overnight. And I listed the horse for 5K. Like, oh my God, I just spent $600 on this horse and I made 5K. Who wouldn't want that, right? So very, very interesting. Lots of fun, even before racing. You see how fun this can be even before actually racing or breeding or anything. It's just amazing. It's an amazing space, and this is why we're all part of this space. This is why Renee is so excited, Peter, Sanjeev, all of us. So it's gonna be fun. Gino, do you have any other questions?
No, that's it for now. So I just to recap, you go into she said you got to put the address into the BitKeep to get access to your horse. Is that what she means?
Yes. So I just did it both on Token Pocket and BitKeep. What you do is from your assets page, you can see that there, you know what? No, I'm not logged in. Dang it. On your assets page, underneath the blue banner, you see. Okay.
I can do it. Let me see.
Copy the address that Renee put in the chat first.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So here we go. I'm in my
TP.
Token Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
TP. I already put
Oh,
the
you have
address
it.
there.
Yeah. So hit cancel.
Yeah, I just
at the
did it.
top
I did
right.
it while we were talking.
Oh,
Well,
just
I'm just
kidding.
gonna hit here. Yeah. So
And
I'm in
there's your
it. It
horse.
says my assets here. I can't see anything. I think on BitKeep it's gonna be a little more graphics and stuff. But if you see um the
That's your horse
volume,
right there.
yeah, I can't see it. Can you see my horse?
No. You can't see it here, but you
Oh, okay.
see that you have your horse. But if you click
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it, that's where you can, this one you can send it, and BitKeep, you can actually sell it. So you need to get BitKeep, Carlito.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a BitKeep. Definitely. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Um, like honestly, if I had enough fists to buy, I was saying this before, if I had enough fists to buy three, I would have bought one to play, one to sell, and then I would have never opened up one of the blind boxes. I would have just kept the chest because when you get it, it's a like a treasure chest, and then you click it, and then a horse appears, and it's a random mechanism that gives you the horse, right? So, but the value in people, I would almost pay for a horse that I haven't seen for the chance to get a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 star, then go on the market and see that that I'm priced out at any horses that are 4 stars or more might be really, really expensive, right? So what if somebody sold you can't sell an empty box for, I mean, not an empty box, but you can't sell a surprise box for way more, I would think, right? So it's just a different way to play the game. There's many ways to play the game, right? You start playing the game from the beginning. You start playing the game when you start auctioning right now. Like this is us. I'm fascinated by this. I'm a big Sopranos fan. I'm sorry for anybody that doesn't like the Sopranos, but one of my favorite series are when you know when Tony had the horse and he was just so fascinated being a horse owner. I'm a gambler, so that's in my blood. So I've never been to a horse race, and I know I have a few at my disposal in New York, right? I've never been to a horse race, and for me, I mean, owning a horse is probably, my God, it's so much maintenance. You got to hire a trainer, and you gotta have the money to own a horse and all that, right? I own a digital horse. Like I'm over the moon with this. Like I get to say I own a digital horse. And like I have little nephews. I'm over here on vacation right now and I have a little nephew. And I told, I'm like, if I can't get an adult audience to hear me out, I'm gonna get my little nephews to hear me out, right? So I'm like, guys, look, I bought a digital horse. And like, oh, what is that? So I'm showing them and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna race it soon. You guys are gonna be here when I start racing it. And, oh yeah, let me know, Uncle Carlos. I want to see when you race it. And it's like adults don't even want to hear about blockchain. They don't want to hear about this new technology. I'm here with a whole bunch of old people, and no offense to anybody on the call, but I'm on vacation. I got a bunch of 80-year-old people with me that don't even want to hear about blockchain. They don't want to hear about anything. We're in Cape Cod. It's a sleepy town by the beach. We just go to the beach and go to a restaurant, go back to our cabins. But this is the vacation I wanted for like a week. I didn't want an excursion. I didn't want to be zip lining. I didn't want to do any of that craziness. I just wanted to be an old person for this week. So it's fascinating to see these kids that are like, oh yeah, let me see this horse. And then at dinner time, I'm talking about NFTs and blockchain and trying to bring the boomers into, because the boomers have a lot of money, right? They have a whole bunch of money that they're ready to explore with. They have a thinner threshold because they're at the end of their retirement, right? So they're like they don't want they're not taking a lot of risk, right? But it's fun to talk to them and try to tell them what smart contracts are going to do in the world, what NFTs are going to do in the world, what blockchain is going to do one day when we can actually vote on the blockchain, and neither the Democratic Party or the Republican Party is going to be able to cheat. It's going to be real. It's going to be, you can't erase, you can't delete, and you can't alter these votes. It's on the blockchain. I can't wait till the day we could see that. you know, and we're all here understanding this, and it's pretty amazing, you know. So I'm here trying to teach them and trying to tell them about the stuff that we're learning. So just wanted to share that with you guys.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. If we don't have any other questions, we are gonna be back. What's today? Oh, today's Thursday. Monday is the 4th of July. We're discussing right now if we're gonna keep that call or if we're gonna cancel it and just go with the Wednesday call. So pay attention to the Telegram group to get the update on if we're gonna have a call on Monday or if it's just gonna be pushed to Wednesday's 10 p.m. call. Other than that, we will still have Tuesday, Wednesday support call at 2 p.m. for anyone that needs assistance with anything pertaining to this project. And then that'll be it. So main things we want to still contribute to is the pools. And if you still haven't voted yet, please put in your vote for the nodes. That is still top of the mind for us to be able to bless people with FON if we make it into the top 37, which at this point right now, I don't even know where we're at.
We're still at 37. I do want to say this, guys, it's your right to exercise whatever you want to do with your FRTs. You got them for free.
And we are at 36, Carlos.
Okay,
Woohoo!
fantastic.
Yes.
So guys, but listen,
Yes.
we all have FRTs, guys. We all have FRTs. What are you gonna do with them? You're just gonna leave them there and not, like, you can use your FRTs and start collecting free FON, right? Remember, you're not collecting the free FON and saying, oh, what am I so enthusiastic about collecting a coin that's worth $3 right now? It's about seeing the future. It's about understanding that BNB went through the same growing pains, that BNB was once, you know, $1, you know, that BNB is used right now. And we all know how it is to get a little bit of gas fees with a BNB, right? We take like $20 and we say, I need some gas fees for all these exchanges. And then those $20 are gone after doing all the stuff that we do, all the swaps and all the stuff we do, right? But we know that BNB is like at $288. You know, it was at $350 before. It was at $400 before. So the sky's the limit with the FON token. It's early. It's early in the project and it's early in adoption. You know, it's just like me. Like I just bought, I said it, I bought a Star Wars lightsaber digitally. I'm not looking at that for the next 3 years. I don't even care what the price says. If it says $20 today, if tomorrow it says $3, if next week it says $50, it's the intellectual property. It's Star Wars. I would imagine that as soon as people don't know about this platform, as soon as they learn about this platform, I could imagine my assets going up. So it's the same thing with this FSTSwap. People don't know about FSTSwap, right? So the developers are telling people about FSTSwap. We're supposed to be telling people about FSTSwap. So it's not about now, it's about what we're building for the future. So sometimes you need to zoom all the way out, and not just have a microscope on the project. Zoom all the way out and see what's happening in the world. There are people that are not thinking about crypto right now because there are bigger fish to fry in their life. There's bigger things to hone in on, right? So since they're distracted right now and their attention is elsewhere on food shortages or supply chain shortages, or I went to a store the other day that was like no bottled water up here, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a sign. I don't know if I'm being if I'm just being scared right now, but I was surprised. I'm like, no bottled water in the store. Like, it's the summertime in Cape Cod. What are these people thinking? So I could look at it as poor management from that store, but it's summertime in Cape Cod. You only have 3 months to make money here. Like, it's like, this is their time. This is their Super Bowl. Their Super Bowl is the summer. You're going to tell me that that was poor management, or that there is really a supply chain issue, right? So there's real life indicators that are telling us that things are coming, things are happening, inflation, things are not pretty right now. So people are a little skeptical about investing. People aren't paying attention to these opportunities, but we are. That's the beauty of it. We're paying attention to it. I wasn't paying attention to Bitcoin when it first came out. I'm mad at myself. And I asked myself, what was I doing from 2009 to 2019? What was I doing for those 10 years that I missed Bitcoin? And I had a staff of 60 people. I was running a real important marketing firm at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. I was giving my time to my job, and I wasn't doing my research. I wasn't doing DYOR, which is what I ask you guys to do all the time. Do your own research. You owe it to yourself to not hear rumors from one group or hear rumors from another group. Do your own research. That's going to make you feel better and sleep better at night. All right. So I could talk about this all day. I love to talk about crypto. I'm going to ask David to give me 3 days, not just Thursday, so I can have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm kidding. So guys, thank you so much. I love your laugh, Breezy. You're the best. Guys, thank you for the 10 people that stood on the call. You guys are the best. We'll be back with more information. Obviously, Mondays are the most fun because we give away a lot of things. I'm going to start trying to see if I could give away something on Thursday too. Maybe I'll get more people. But guys, I love you all. Love you all. Thanks for coming. And we'll see you next
Love you,
week.
Carlos. Yes, for
All
sure.
right,
And
guys.
you get Sunday as well, Carlos.
Sunday too.
Sunday, I guess Sunday
Friday,
too.
Saturday, not enough.
Yeah, you guys want to get me thrown out of my house. My wife's at the beach right now. My wife's at the beach with the 2 kids. And she's like, "Are you gonna help me with these chairs? Are you gonna help me with?" I said, I'm in the car and I'm gonna walk over there in a minute. I'll be there in a second. So I spent my time with you guys. It was time well spent. If you got any value out of this, it was time well spent. I'll go ahead and chase the kids in the beach now. But thank you guys. Thanks for your time.
Have fun, be safe, and
Have
tell the
fun.
family we said hi. Love you guys, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday. Monday's call is canceled. We'll make an announcement. Monday's call for 4th of July is canceled. We will be
4th of
back on
July.
Wednesday.
Wow. Yeah. All right. That's good.
All right. Enjoy your fireworks.
Yes. I need to go somewhere. All right, everybody. We will see you on Wednesday's call again. We'll be here on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for anybody that needs assistance. If not, we will see you on Wednesday, then again Thursday, and then we'll follow back with Monday. All right, everybody.
Thank you. One question though. Oh. I do, and I know Renee doesn't know how to do this, and I know Peter doesn't know how to do this, so I'm going to say it right now. Damn, Renee got off the call. Damn it. Do you guys know how to brush your horse? So look, you take a brush and you just brush your phone. And
you are hilarious. Right,
so I want to tell
your stand up, Carlos.
I wanted to tell Renee that, and Renee left the call. I'll see you guys later, guys.
Love you guys.
Bye. I have to go and feed my horse now. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Take care, Carlos. Enjoy Cape Cod.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.